joyful Christian Hermit took suddenly ill around 1:45 of 2. By the time I got back from physical therapy, pain doctor, get my pump checked, after MRIs, after helping a little bit at the family members, and then also just the driving to the pain doctors and being on my feet there waiting, and then had to drive to Home Depot to get steer manure. They didn't have it. Had to get to physical therapy. My body is not used to driving like that. Driving. But I had to get the pump checked and had to get the MRI. And so these things happen. But I want to check in. I just want to see if my laptop will put videos up. I was planning to read a prayer poem of St. Gregory of Narek. I have this book here. So we'll have to wait for that. And but I'm heading back to the religious life, the spiritual, the focus on the holy narrow pathway again, and back to the reading that I've been doing to share with you. So the transition I was in, I'm considering is pretty much finished from what I have learned from it, with the finale being the other, of caring about the others, showing respect to others, and insisting that we have respect for our love of others. And so from here on, from now, I'm transitioning into the holy narrow pathway again, and talking about that and sharing these poems of St. Gregory of Narek and other things that I read and little things that go on. Like tonight, even part of the prayer I had with the puppies was asking God to help me heal, help me get better from how sick I am, stomach and everything, my gut. So I have a heat pack. I'm going to try, the thought came to mind to try muscle relaxant to see if that would help with the pain that radiates down the arm and the numbness of it. So because it's getting increasingly difficult going through the night with such pain. We'll keep trying different things. And I want to see also if my video will work on this laptop. If not, then I'll figure out something for when I want to read, such as these poem prayers. So God bless you all. Praying for Francie Ray, praying for Glenn, who is nearly 101 and needs our prayers, and Francie also. I think Francie's doing better, but I don't know exactly how much better. And I need prayer for a man who has some kind of a block, perhaps, plus not a lot of money, but the hospital will work out, the system will work out a financial aid program for people. So it isn't just money why this other person won't go to a doctor who's suffering terrible headaches. So I've been asking St. Pancras, whose feast day was yesterday on May 12th. Back in 3003, St. Pancras was a young boy. His mother died in childbirth with a sibling of Pancras, a younger sibling. Then his father died from heavy grieving over the loss of his wife, who had died in childbirth with one of the children. Not Pancras. Pancras was older. And so Pancras was left being reared by his uncle. Then the uncle died. So the emperor cut off Pancras's head when he was about 12 or 14 years old, and Pancras had refused to deny Christ. So his head was cut off on May 12th, 303, on the Aurelian Way, back in 303. And Pancras's bones were buried, and in that spot in the 500s, well, it was late 400s and early, they finished in 514, built a basilica of St. Pancras, Pancras, over the bones of this little boy, or young teen, who died rather than forsake Christ. So my grandson and I have been praying for this man, and asking Pancras to please help us pray for this man, because it turns out that Pancras has a gift from God. Since his head was cut off, he has helped heal headaches for over 1,800 years. So we've been asking Pancras to please help this man's headaches so he can work steadily and not be so sick. So it was a new saint. I felt it was too much of a coincidence, because yesterday the man had a very terrible headache and is still sick, I think, through today. So, but interesting that Pancras had his saint day on May 12th, just the day before yesterday. Yesterday, in fact, where I am anyway, it was still May 12th, yesterday. And Pancras is called upon. We're asking Pancras to help heal the headaches of this man here in 2025 on May 12th. And of course now it's May 14th or 13th, and it will be May 14th. Tomorrow, some of you are already in Europe. If you're in Europe or Ireland, I haven't heard from Martin in a while. He's in Ireland. It's already been the 12th of May. But we're still calling upon the soul of Pancras to help in any way possible, to help anyone's headaches. But specifically, I've been praying for this man. God bless his real presence in all of you, and God love you all. I so appreciate you and thank you for your forbearance and waiting through what I had to say over time, and now wanting to get back to the spiritual life and the holy narrow pathway. Hopefully this laptop will work. Sweet dreams, everyone, and a beautiful day wherever you are.